Dr. Dre said he knew the exact moment where Drake messed up versus Kendrick in a recent interview. Okay, so Dre was doing an interview recently, and he was asked about Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" and the beef between Kendrick and Drake, and he had this to say.
Yeah, I love that record. I'm gonna say this on camera. I don't want to get negative. You know, my is about being positive and moving forward. But the fact that I heard Drake say something negative about Kendrick's wife and his kids, that made me say, adios. Are you really saying something negative about his wife and kids? That's when I clocked out.
It's crazy. I was having this conversation. I was like, what made him wake up and having the best life? He's Michael Jackson, and say, you know who I want to with? The one person who can do it.
This Drake fucked around and stepped on Rosecrans Central.
He did.
That was a big mistake.
Stop.
So yeah, so he said that was the exact moment where you don't know you done messed up, right?
Yeah. And I think for Dre too, people may not know, or maybe people do know, Drake had written for Dr. Dre in the past, and I think Dr. Dre gave him one of his first really big checks. So there is a history there. So I think also Dr. Dre is answering of, this is when I said, I gotta side with Kendrick, because you know, just like Dr. Dre coming out at the pop out, it's big because it's Dr. Dre and it's Kendrick. It can also feel like the way other stuff felt, like maybe LeBron felt to Drake, like, damn, you gave me my first check in the game, and now you're siding with the guy that's beefing with me. So, and he's just explaining like, that was it for me. Like that's when I had that moment
about his wife, you know, and it's like that was too far for me.
Yeah. So Drake has talked about writing for Dr. Dre previously. He says it was some of the most strenuous, militant-ish I've ever done, but no usable songs came out of it. When I think of how he worked us, it's no wonder he didn't get anything out of it. It was just writers in a room churning out product all day long. So he kind of he might have felt jilted toward Dre, and even talking about having written for him. I think that after he got the check, but maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, he did something with the money, or he was too public with the money, that Dr. Dre was like, bro, like, you gotta be chill about it.
Yeah, I think he sent him home.
Yeah,
right?
he sent him home.
Yeah, he sent him home.
Because he was doing too much. Like, Drake was doing too much in the writer's camp of Dr. Dre. But then if you think about it, and reportedly, allegedly, how Drake had these camps too, he probably saw what Dr. Dre did, and then was like, hey, want to come be at OVO? And then started doing that stuff. So it's a trip. It's a trip, the history behind
I did not know that.
Exactly, yeah. And speaking of Drake, he actually made an appearance yesterday at the LA Fire Aid concert that was going down over at the Intuit Dome. And this is some audio. Anderson .Paak brought him out during his performance. Listen to this.
One, I want to take a little bit of time to talk to y'all for a second to show. I've got so much love for you guys, and this summer will be the mark of 40 years that I've been in this business. And I appreciate all the love that you guys have been giving me. And the reason why we're here, I appreciate all the first responders and all the firemen that put their lives on the line. I appreciate all that love. You feel me?
Shout out Dre for keeping it positive.
Yeah.
Thanking all the firefighters and the first responders and stuff like that.
And even just him popping out like that, it's like, oh, what are you doing over there, Dr. Dre? Are you going to be at the Super Bowl? You know? Just you
warming up a little bit.
Yeah, you're warming up a lot over there, Dr. Dre.
You're practicing.
Yes. No, yeah. Speaking of the Super Bowl, so Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez was interviewed about the Super Bowl performances and Lil Wayne, and spoke on Lil Wayne not being selected. So Desiree said she actually wasn't aware of Lil Wayne's comments about being disappointed for not being selected as a Super Bowl performer this year in New Orleans. Yeah, she said, we love that everybody wants to be on stage, that we've completely changed the conversation to fighting for it versus boycotting. We've come a long way.
True.
You know, and then she actually said, you know, when talking about like how the selection thing is handled, she said, yes, Jay-Z gives us a short list and then we all kind of go through them, which has been discussed before. But she actually commented and said, you know what, I actually can't wait till we get some country music in the halftime show. She said, I think we want all kinds of music, and that's definitely something that we're working on to make sure we're covering all kinds of music.
Yeah, they pitch according to the area, because what they said, the standards are is that who's hot at the time, who's having a really good year, who's setting up for a really good next year, and then also what place we're at. And for example, when it was in Miami, J-Lo's not from Miami. No. Neither is Shakira, I don't think.
Nope.
But they kind of went with that like Latin vibe and what Miami, the energy of Miami. Yeah. Same when they're in New Orleans. Kendrick's not from New Orleans, but the year that he's had and also the vibe that he's setting and how culturally rich it is, it made sense to like kind of pursue and lock him in. They also did say, of course, Lil Wayne was brought into the picture, but it just somehow ended up
exactly. Yeah, it means like he was a finalist, and that's you know something to be proud of as well. You know what I'm saying? Especially since he started his career in like 1997. If you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? So to be a finalist in the Super Bowl that many years later is something to like be proud of.
And then I'm wondering where the country one would be. Like if like and country music's big all around in any city, state, USA. Right. So it's like that probably is going to be dependent on when, like one of these hot spots that the Super Bowl ends up being at.
100%. And also just like the past couple years, it's been more hip hop leaning. You know, obviously like Las Vegas had Usher. Obviously Dr. Dre was in LA, and then now Kendrick in New Orleans. Next year is going to be in San Francisco. So I'm wondering if maybe it's
who left?
No, it's the buzzing. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, so I mean, maybe they just pivot, not in particular because of San Francisco, but it's like, okay, maybe now it's time to bring a country artist.
That would be
yeah, in San Francisco and country, I don't.
Well, the thing is that Super Bowls are only in like a handful of cities. You know what I'm saying? They kind of rotate. Like they'll be in Arizona soon. They'll be back in LA. Like they're all kind of like warm.
I see it more like cities. For country, it would be like Arizona, if anything. Not
maybe.
San
I mean,
there's
a team in Tennessee, Nashville. You know,
or maybe when
it would fit there.
Nashville would be perfect.
Or maybe when they're in LA again, because
country's big in LA.
LA, La Taylor.
La Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Shabuzi.
No, but
I mean, if
but he wouldn't be as.
Yeah, I think like a Tennessee.
How many songs?
I know that's why I was like,
wait, play.
Well, because he's hot right now.
I know, but that's one of the.
I know that's why after I said it, I'm like, wait, you're right.
Shabuzi bringing out Jaquan. Oh.
And then what?
I'm down, and then that's it. And then all right, game back on.
That's what I'm like, wait.
But Taylor, like her SoFi Stadium show, that's the one that gave us Earthquakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's not country anymore. She went pop.
No, she still has country songs though.
But she said it that she's no longer country.
Okay.
She still has.
Okay.
Okay. So here. Thank you for telling me where Super Bowl's next year. You know that it's gonna be in San Francisco next year.
I didn't know that.
All right. Vic, Maximo, Angie, me, Greg too. You can chime in.
Okay.
Would we be upset if E40 isn't?
Like,
because I feel like when you think of the Bay,
I think
I would think.
He said he thinks of Sweetie. No,
but that's how people think of Lil Wayne. Like that would be the same. Like people thought of Lil Wayne in that sense when it's like, oh, it's coming to New Orleans, Lil Wayne.
But we have
to. You said the Bay. I just thought of 40 Water.
Yeah, but we have to also think of just other music.
And Too Short. Oh my God.
E40 and Too Short. That's what I was thinking.
But so if they don't go with E40 and Too Short, will we be upset? Because then we can kind of understand the audience.
I'll be upset. I'm trying to go dumb.
I mean, it depends. Like, I think they can be part of like an ensemble. I think it'll make sense. Somebody
like a little add-on, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Have their moment.
It's like as a main Super Bowl performers, I'm worried that the mainstream doesn't know them as well. You know what I'm saying? Not me, but I'm just saying the people in Montana are gonna be like, it was a 40 water. What?
He's too short.
Yeah, they probably never heard "Sprinkle Me, Man." Unfortunately.
Okay, so right now, you know how kind of our guy's Kendrick, and he's the one that's gonna be in New Orleans. So LA is kind of like, duh, it makes sense. Like, get over it. You guys are being angry. Next year, that's gonna be us. Next year, we're gonna be the Daniels. I just want everybody to know. Next year, it will be us. Yes.
Yeah. When they have Morgan Wallen hit the stage?
Yes, when it's Morgan Wallen, and we're like, wait, what about...
Morgan Wallen featuring Post Malone, featuring Carrie Underwood, featuring...
Dang, you're right. That could happen. That's going to be us.
Kelly Clarkson.
And then we're going to be like, how does this list get chosen?
Yeah. We're in California.
What the hell, Jay-Z? Yeah, that's going to be us.
That's going to be us next year. Get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Sneak.
Kick the sneak.
The Federation. I'm trying to see the
Yes.
Federation, dog. I'm trying to see Turf Talk up there.
Yes.
Come on, bruh.
That would be
All right.
amazing. Desiree Perez, you heard us.
Yeah. Hey,
We just need
to
get
bring it.
Hey, Sage the Gemini, get
Yes.
yours
Grab
right
the
now.
wall. Oh,
my God.
Imagine the whole world shaking it like a red nose all at once.
Like a red nose.
Oh, nah.